women and children, a war survivor, an educator, and welcome to our Justice Army. Now, I wrote something earlier that I want to talk about tonight. There's a lot going on around the world, especially here in the United States, uh, U.S., Israel, um, Iran, or Iran, or the former Persia, a part of the Ottoman Empire. But that's a story for another day. I have a few things that I would like to talk to you about tonight. Um, Lisa, is that you? So I want to start this conversation with something that really took me a little bit today, this morning. I saw a post yesterday that stated that the former president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, was going to, hi, hi, was going to address the Liberian legislature today. I was kind of excited, a little bit hopeful, believing that just maybe she was going to go discuss the way forward to what is happening in Liberia. The rape epidemic, not just with girls, but with boys, with older people. And also the demolition that is going on in the country, people coming from everywhere and claiming property. And it is due to the 14 years of civil war. 35 years later, there has been no direction, no reconstruction, okay, or no roadmap to reconstruction for that matter. And if you all look at the TRC report, it was an extensive work, extensive, very involved, where I believe, based on my own knowledge of just looking at other nations that have been to war and have been able to recover, rebuild in a different direction and build a stronger nation, a stronger community, a stronger family unity, family unit, a stronger moral turpitude. I thought that's what this woman we're going to go talk about. But I'm going to read this to all of you, and then we're going to start. Let me first share this video. If you are here, sincerity, thank you so much. If you would help me share, I would truly appreciate it. Folks, if you like, you can follow us here, or you can this I can this is a what do you call it, a page. So it's different. I literally can accept as many people as possible. Where is this? Okay. But yeah, so please follow and like. Why is this thing taking long to come on? Okay, I will appreciate if you will. But I'm gonna share and then I'm gonna read this. But before I read, I don't know why this glass is supposed to be non-glare, so I don't know what it's doing. Before I go on, I have this video that I like to play. Okay. And then I'm gonna first start with Pape Boakai. I listened to him briefly, but I didn't listen to everything because I was at work when he was talking today. So I want to play this so all of us can listen together. All right, together. Here it is. Not sure what is going down, but maybe maybe I should have. I don't know. We have this closing argument. I'm not sure if it's on YouTube. Give me 1 second, folks. Let me freeze it. And let's hear what this old man is talking about. it seems like we are literally fixing as we go. No plan at all. Wait 1 second. What is this? Shouldn't be here. Okay. All right, I'm going to play this as this is
the golden people
President of the Republic of Liberia,
to notice
Mr. Joseph
good, the golden people. A few days ago, I had to write a letter to the goalkeeper of the Arsenal goalkeeper. And the letter, I think, has been delivered to just show when somebody does good things. I mean, I've seen people writing goals, but it's an exception. Not just, even if I were to see in another. And so it is always encouraging, not just to criticize people, to notice good, the good in people. A few days ago, I had to write a letter to the goalkeeper of the Arsenal goalkeeper. And the letter, I think, has been delivered to just show when somebody does good things. I mean, I've seen people writing goals, but it's an exception. Not just, even if I were to
I'm
see
going
in
to stop
another.
here. This is the part
And
that
so-
I got. I don't have the rest of the video. I would love to play the rest of the video. I was asking people today to send that to me. I have not received it yet. But so far, I'm not sure they can't, I can't put this in context, what he was trying to say, because it's not connecting for me. So I can, even if it was connecting to some degree, I can infer it as to what he's talking about, where he's heading at, because there was a pause. And then when you can criticize everything. Now, and you acknowledge people. Now, this is where I come in, Papi Bogado. We have helped you when you fell off. Alexander Cummings helped you. When you came to power with Ellen, you called him because he was your friend and brother to come and help you out as you went to, and even he electrified the whole of BWI, help you put his name on the paper when we were trying to get loan forgiveness, because he was regarded in the business world internationally everywhere. When you lost the election, and when you were, now before you lost the election in 2017, when you were running the second round, he came to you. You didn't even go to him. Ask you, how can I support you? You said you wanted money. He made provision of that money. You have never told the Liberian people, acknowledge him to say, this man did this, he did that. After you did not make that election, all of us were around. You said to the rest of the people, you thought he was the right person to change Liberia. You have served your time. You've been in government for 40 plus years. Okay. He said, okay, y'all, come on. 2020 election. He led the Darius Dillon, the Taylor Ure, and all of those people, the Yomli Kanga, leaving to go stay in Buchanan to help run her campaign. When you fell out, even after you lied on him, he came to the hospital. He paid your bills. Liberian people collected money for you in the diaspora to send you to the hospital. You are yet to stop and acknowledge the work of the Liberian in the diaspora. I remember during your inauguration, you stopped for a second and you talk about the diaspora as a human capital, having a human capital advantage. Then boom, we got stuck with Trump. And they used that to laugh at us that we were going to be deported, Trump was going to deal with us. Now you're writing a letter to your goalkeeper outside of the country. But that is the shenanigan, is the Liberian way. What I want to talk about right now is a few years back, and not too long ago, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the former president of the Republic of Liberia, the first female president of the African continent, okay? We have other women leaders around the world. England, I have prime minister, they have queens, Spain, and all of those people. But the first female president in West Africa, a Black woman, that people thought, hey, George, we need to talk. Hey, Patrick, hey, Sis Rebecca, Dr. Peabody, hi, Eric, yeah. And here we go. I was a little perplexed this morning. When I'm excited, I talk fast, I scream. But when I'm perplexed, I kind of come down and I want to keep it that tune because I want to speak with clarity. When this woman, maybe she does not hear us. She does not hear the young people whom lives she interrupted. I was one of those young women. When I was growing up, middle school, high school, my school had 2 departments based on the attitude, job ability, like in science, like in math. I was a science student. I was in science. 2 things I wanted to be in, all wanted to help people. I wanted to be a lawyer or a doctor. And if there was any third wheel, maybe a journalist to just expose the way things were. And she interrupted that. I watched my friends died. My uncles died. My grandmother had to bury her sons. My grandparents died. I lost friends. I watched bodies walk as they float under the new bridge. I watched babies point guns in my mother's face and call her name. People that we knew wanted to kill us. According to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, she contributed $10,000. $10,000 time value money. It would be around $26,000 today, almost $30,000. She came up with that to initiate the war. I hear everybody say, that America, that America. America will not tell me to kill my children for me to kill my children. They might have to kill me and my children, or they may have to kill me. Nobody, no human born of woman under the sun that can tell me to kill my own brothers and sisters, kill my children for me to do so. Yeshua. No one. The wickedness was always already inside of us. Those in there, they're not supposed to be there because they're not worth it. Ellen tried the first time. Listen to Kumapa 2 times. Taylor was the third one. I remember when Ellen won the senatorial seat and she refused to take the seat because Joe was president. The other people that she brought together, that she told them not to take their seat, that were representative and stuff, and who took the seat when she came back, everything that she did, she never gave them position. Everybody that was enter that government. She gave them position. If they were not around, she gave the children position, like some sort of payback. But I listened to her today because I thought she was coming to speak on on behalf of our people. You know, I teach the reconstruction of America. I teach the reconstruction of Japan. Let's just say Southwest Asia, Southeastern Asia, okay, and other empires. Okay. So when a nation suffer tragedy, be a natural tragedy, that would be your earthquake, your flood, your snowstorm, or any what do you call it, volcano, anything for that matter. That's when leadership step back. They should already have plan in place for those natural disasters. But things that war, I don't believe for the mindset how Liberia was created. Okay, and I will give you a little backstory. Let me. I gotta send this link to somebody really quickly. Just give me 1 second. I will play Ellen video. Then I'm gonna say what I want to say to her because I already wrote what I wanted to say to her. Okay, it may not bother her because she said her children are set. Those that worship her, that she brought out, they're set, they're connected. Okay, they're in their little clique together. All right, this is not about another person. I'm just speaking my mind. I've been speaking my mind before some of you came to politics way back. I've been speaking my mind from the old rule since I was a little girl. When Ellen was bumping any people to bump to go to the barracks to serve people, I was one of the first volunteer of self when it came to Liberia, the first relief organization. The headquarters were in Maba Point. Dorothy Dix was the chair, okay, or the director. And people volunteered to go every other place across the bridge, stay around Maba Point area, but nobody wanted to go to the barracks. When I say this, I always say this. Good evening, sisters and my brothers. Okay, I always say this, and I send you reference because I like to come here and say it. When they were looking for people to go to volunteer to the barracks to register people so they can carry food for the people there. That the way things going on right now, the Israel and Iran. Nobody wanted to go because everybody was afraid. When I told my mom that I was going to go, my mother almost had a heart attack. Number one, I want to speak Mano clearly. And I was going to literally small Grand Jide or small Lofakante on the Madingo side. Okay? I saw my mom like literally look dejected, that there was nothing, sadness in her face. And I told her, I said, Mom, children are there, women are there. I was a kid myself, I didn't even understand, but I had the passion. God has spoken to my heart and said to me, I was born and raised in church. You know, I think y'all heard me go off one time on Bishop Wingard. Bishop Wingard is my godfather. He baptized me. His wife is my godmother. That's why I thought the fool we are. Those were the people who were supposed to have helped we are to be a better man. And they did not. When some of us were talking here, you always say you're jealous, you were this. This is where we ended up. We are supposed to have been the hope of the Liberian people. But he was not listening. He was not listening. I talked about him and still made recommendations. I pointed out the ills and made recommendations to him. Okay. And I volunteered. Rebecca Garson and her late husband, Joseph. We were all just young adults living our teens. And the first day that I went to the barracks, I almost got killed. I got beat up. And I always told you the story. Who saved me? Hezekiah Bowen. Boeing, that's his name. And I still remember that name. It been 35 years. This is 1990. And I can remember, I have a mental picture, visual that sometimes I wake up to. Being thrown in a car, being slapped, being beaten. And I thought this was it. But I tell you something. I was in the house of the director of USAID with my family, with all the journalists in Liberia and the international journalists that came in that were covering the Liberia story, that where they used to come. Elizabeth Browns of BBC were in that house on the patio, and the patio were enclosed in like a veranda. She sat on the floor, led across that we're doing elementary school called Crisscross, as she interviewed Ellen Johnson Sirleaf the day she said, "Your level the mansion will rebuild it." And I keep saying those who destroy cannot build. The whole country were taking and putting in her hand. With billions coming to her, she didn't build it. You can worship her all you want. The world can take her and put her on the shoulder. I know for a fact there's a part of her, deep inside of her conscience, that little thing that speaks to you and say, you came to this country 3 times. The people took the country and put it in your hand. You felt them. I know when she's driving in the street of Monrovia and watch the children walking over barefooted, little girls, when she sees in the newspaper, rape, and she's supposed to be a survivor, and she speaks nothing. I thought that lady was going to that place today to talk about our young little girls who have been molested, little boys that have been sodomized, our people that have been left homeless, the same way when her coming left us homeless, left us scattered around the world. Listen, I don't give a flip where anybody think. That's my pain. That's my story. And I will express it. Anybody else who think otherwise, that's fine. But I'm going to read this. Ellie went to the Congress today, to the Liberian Congress, to ask them. They say white people or known Negro descent. She was not speaking for Americans. Americans not coming to Liberia to live. You ain't got healthcare system. Instead, the broke one, we're just looking for a place to live. Swedish people not coming to Liberia to come live, to buy a house, develop it. I think that's okay. Chief is here. All right. Swedish people not coming to Liberia. Dutch people not coming to Liberia to come live there. That's not a true statement. That's what her friend, she and her offended friend. All right. Steve is here. Steve, I'm going to let you open. Then I'm going to finish my thought. Then you can come in. Welcome. Thank you. What she thought. People.
Thanks. As always, the Liberian women are the most beautiful women on earth. And as always, the Liberian people are the most important people on earth.
Yep.
As I told you, I would be late.
Yes.
Interestingly, I have a meeting I'm supposed to be happy on, but I'll be here for a little bit with you before I run away. Please.
Okay, you're going to a meeting at this time?
Yes.
We can how you call it? Okay.
Yeah, for the community here. For the community here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. I'm gonna get this. All right. I want you people to listen. Then I'm gonna read what I wrote. Then I'm gonna have Stephen and I'm gonna react to that. So let me come here. This is Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Okay. This is Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. No disrespect to her. Okay. The former president of the Republic of Liberia. The people gave her the title. The people voted for her. There we go. She is. Y'all listen up.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, honorable members of the House of Representatives, thank you for the invitation to speak at this session today. I believe this to be an unprecedented historical decision. Mr. Speaker, I do not propose to make the normal type of speech.
I'm going to stop this here. I'm not going to play because all of you guys are listening to it. I'm going to say in my word that I know because I don't want to give this credence to, okay? There are a lot more story that's going on in Liberia. Right. I want to say that I want to say it. Not too long ago, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf told us she was no longer into politics. She has said it over and over. Why is she coming to talk about our Constitution? And Liberian people will come and say, you're in America. America is more than 400 years old. It took over 400 years for Black people to be counted out. What do you call it? 3/5 of human beings. And they have to fight for it. Okay? And before that was granted to Black people, the land was already divided among the white people. They sit at the top. We are literally picking up the crumbs. We are the worker bees, per se. Now, Steve, give me 1 second. I'm going to read this, and then we can talk about that. Here's what I wrote today. Hopefully, I can read as fast. That's why I got the glasses on for. When I heard former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf will speak, okay, my hope, perhaps an idealistic one, was that her word will center on the suffering of the Liberian people, the recent displacement of families, and the pain of women violated, and the uncertainty facing our children. I hope she will speak from that place where leadership men met conscious, where the dignity of the nation and its people stands above every other consideration. Okay, nationalism is the heftier and the most humane form. It's not blind pride or empty slogan. It is deep. My eyes are that bad. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to let when Steve is gone, and I'm going to go ahead and read it. I need other glasses. My eye bad. I'm old, folks. So, Steve, like I said, okay, I thought this lady was coming to tell us that the suffering in the country is too much. Okay? That we need to look at the report. Even if we don't look at the War Economic Crimes Code now,
Yes.
the recommendation that was made for restructuring how to help Liberia come from the rebel. That's what I thought it was. I didn't know she was coming to advocate for her business partner that she's want to leave her children and grandchildren with. Because that Boulevard Hotel, when you look under it, she brought them in. Whether she's partner in that, she's not, that's for her. Today, we got people flying from everywhere. You have a Nigerian guy who said he was an ECOMOG coming to tell us why he was supposed to be like we were keeping forth and peace, was not arrested him. He came and bought 250 acres of land during the time that Liberians were running helter-skelter. They were in distress, under duress, nowhere in the world. And you are evicting, you're breaking down people's homes. The very people that because of your action, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, that they're displaced. Ellen was the one who went to get Kuwapa to come to Liberia. Dr. Famule was the undertaker. We call him the absentee general, and I hear him talking all over the place. And according to the news, he was giving money to buy walkie-talkie. The walkie-talkie was defected. In fact, he never crossed the border. And Kuwapa was depending on him, but he came. Kuwapa came alone. Those were all according to Kuwapa's wife and according to transfer the CIA website. She was a part. And we gave her the presidency. And this is what we got. So, Steve, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's very interesting that you started the conversation by saying, by reminding the Liberian people that President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf just a few years back said she was not involved into active politics again.
Yeah.
However, I will have to give her the credit that she was not invited. It was the House of Representatives that invited her. And then she used the word unprecedented. That means basically it has not happened before. Or this is the first time happening, or they're setting a new trend or a new president. I want to agree with her.
So the abrasion protocol, and
right.
all of us that come from retirement, and yes.
I want to agree with her. I want to agree with her. There's a question begging this.
Mm-hmm.
Why did they invite her and not invite President George Weah
Right.
also? That's the first question. Now, I'm not a supporter.
I think Focus spoke about that today. I'm going to invite.
I'm not a supporter of President George Weah. However, I am a serious person who wants to figure out some things. Secondly, it is interesting how they invited her,
Mm-hmm.
but she decided to speak about parts of the Constitution
Mm-hmm.
that coincidentally disenfranchise or take away from the Liberian people, but it makes the case for foreigners. Let me give you an example. Most recently, we see how people have become homeless in Liberia because the government going around breaking people's homes, individuals are coming from the court, breaking people's homes or whatever it is. So my question that's running through my mind is, what is this? Is this a coordination in the legislature looking for somebody else to speak on their behalf? Is this a coordination? Because Joseph Boakai already told you guys that God not bringing no new land or he's not making new land. In fact, the case on the land is already closed because Joseph Boakai spoke about it. It's closed. Let me tell you now. That means foreigners can come and take your land and it will be free. Anybody can come and bring some kind of paper from the court and it'll break your house down, especially if that person got money and they got connection with the government. There's nothing you can do about it. So, yes, it is disappointing. But the part that disappoints me the most is when President Ellen Johnson telling the world that she takes no responsibility basically for what happened under her leadership. Basically, it is what it is. To hell with y'all. But she was the same person that was on an international wire taking full responsibility for the money missing at Noka.
Yeah. For her son. Yeah.
She was the same person on that same network pointing out. So I don't understand.
I will actually play that video in the coming days. I have them.
This is quite interesting. You see, so these are some of the questions that we want to ask. And when we start asking these questions, people start getting mad at us and taking it personal. But these are questions that we want to ask, and these are things that run my mind. So, I mean, this looks and appears like a coordinated effort, and it's problematic. And I think when you look at it.
Yeah. You there, Steve?
Yes, I think my internet is fluttering here.
Okay.
Let me hang on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm hearing you, Steve. Okay, he just went out. He will come back in. Okay. So Ellen, who told us she's no longer into politics, she's coming. She's coming now to speak on behalf of her business partner for she and her children. Liberian people have to understand this. The first 100 years of Liberia, most people didn't own land. The government owned all of the land, per se, even of interior. And if you want a segment of that land, Todman's signature have to be on it. Yes, Mr. Peabody, that is correct. That was ill-advised. And here's why. Our people cannot compete. Our children are being taken advantage of because of abject poverty. We just said Liberia is one of the most hungriest countries in the world. They say every one child in 3, okay, is malnourished as we speak in Liberia. according to the World Health Organization, just last week, over 64% of Liberians live in abject poverty. The 90% unemployment. Most Liberians don't own their own homes. Most of them were displaced, and they're living now in the street. We have not built housing. We're not taking care of housing. Since the war, Ellen was there for 12 years. And she fixed herself, her family, her image. She still pays lobbyists and still get $1 million in the budget for her so-called charity. While we did not build elementary schools, although we went 14 years of war. 14 years of war. After the 14 years, we have time in between. She was given 12 unbroken years. It only taking the little boy, Ibrahim Traoré, 3 years. And he said, y'all give me 5 more years, let's restructure the country. Let's make it solid. And we can come back and bring all the political parties in. We need to build cohesion. He said, you want to be a Muslim, be Muslim. But do not discriminate against those who are not Muslim and those who are not Christian. You want to be a Christian, but you have to live in a community that your brothers, your sisters, our daughters will not be direct. I don't care what your book says. They will get education. There will be no child marriage. Any harmful cultural practices, we will do away with it. Yes, Traoré here, laying bricks. Let me come back to you. Mr. Peabody, I will send you this video. I don't want to listen to this woman. I really don't want to continue playing her. I really don't want to. I'm sorry. I'm agitated. I'm not going to give her more for it. So I'm not going to. I'm just not going to. Okay. I'm going to look for some of those videos from that young man from now, I think it's Isaac, and play it where she backing her chest and taking responsibility for her children stealing from Liberia. And she was just stealing. I'm sorry. I do not listen. When I died, my eye will close on its own. Nobody have to close my eye. I can speak my truth. My eating pain not in nobody's house. I steal from nobody. I kill nobody.
Under the bright skies of Burkina Faso,
We have
a
no
wave of
copyright
hope
to
was
this.
sweeping across the
Okay.
nation.
Yes,
President Ibrahim Traoré,
Ibrahim
a
Traoré.
young and visionary
This
leader,
is old,
had
though.
made a
This
promise to
building
his
is
people,
old. It's finished. Most of
a
the
promise
buildings are
to
most finished.
uplift the forgotten, to build a future where every family could have a roof over their heads without falling into debt. Inspired by the resilience of his fellow Burkinabe, President Traoré launched the Homes of Hope initiative, a bold national project to build free, quality housing for low-income families, widows, orphans, and displaced citizens affected by years of conflict. The idea was simple but powerful. No Burkinabe should sleep under the stars unless they chose to. With the help of local architects, engineers, and thousands of volunteers, construction sites began to spring up across the country, from the bustling capital of Ouagadougou to the quiet villages near the Sahel. President Traoré personally visited the construction zones, often wearing simple clothes and a broad smile. He spoke to the workers, broke bread with families living in temporary shelters, and laid the first bricks with his own hands. His leadership wasn't from a palace, it was among the people. The houses were designed sustainably, using local materials like compressed earth blocks, solar panels for energy, and rainwater harvesting systems. Each home had enough space for a family, with courtyards for gardens where residents could grow food and flowers alike. Beyond housing, the project also built schools, children could laugh, parents could work nearby, and the elderly could find peace. By the end of the first year, over 50,000 families had moved into their new homes. For many, it was the first time they had ever lived in a solid, secure house. Tears of joy, ululations, and song.
So let me stop here. As I always told people within Liberia, and people will say, we want old people, we want young people. The problem is not the age. The problem has never been the age. You okay? Okay. The problem has never been the age. We have young president. We have old president. We have educated president. We have experienced president. We have not so educated president. We have love president. We have a rebel president. We have a warmonger president. You know what? We have not had a visionary president. Somebody will say Tolbert. Tolbert came too late. Tolbert came after he had been vice president for over a decade and spent 9 years. The place was already brewing when he came. Nobody was hearing him because the water was already diluted. Lula da Silva of Brazil was a 4th grade graduate, but who worked in the factory until he got to the CEO level. When he took over Brazil, I wrote something about that. I posted it on my wall. All right. When I was in business grad school, that was some of my case study. At least one of them. This man changed Brazil to the point that everybody wanted to do business with Brazil. That's how Brazil were able to win Bay for the Olympics and won it. To family out of poverty. China has taken over, I think, what, 800 million people out of poverty after their war. And this is just in the 70s. In the 70s, in the 60s, during Mao Zedong days, China could not find food to eat. Everything about leadership and leadership vision. Mao Zedong was a communist. Deng Xiaoping was a communist, but had a different mindset. He said, because you're communist does not mean you need to suffer. It means we need to be better. We need to take care of our people. And what they did during Mao time, where they took the property from the people and created a community, they call it a commune. Deng said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to redistribute the land. Let the people own it. Let them feel that it's theirs. And we will work together. When a nation suffers disaster or tragedy, you need a visionary leader that can reimagine the people. There is no nation without the people. The people make the nation. The reason they call the country Liberia is because of us. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf understand the ideology behind the name of Liberia, why Liberia was created, why those clauses were put in place. If you want to understand, read the preamble. Read not just the preamble, read the people, but read the Declaration of Independence. It states that in there. You all read it. It states it. Hey, Steve?
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. But go ahead.
Right. So like I was saying, all of these questions, comes to mind. And I think it's important for these things to be addressed. I think, these guys are playing games.
Oh, yes.
And this game is deeper than we expected or we thought. There's no one that comes to rescue and kick people out of their homes. That's the opposite of rescue. And it was disappointing. We're dealing with human beings. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not here to say people should stay on people's land or in alleyway or on properties that are not for them illegally. No, that's not my conversation. I'm not here to do that. But the same way how some of us spoke out when it was something that had to do with humanity, and we said, it's good to treat people a certain way,
Right.
um, you know. So it's all it's okay to have these different ways of going about things, but not the way how they're doing our people. It's very unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate. It's sad, it's disappointing, and it's not acceptable at all. And so this is the same thing we saw here in the country. We saw the same thing in the country with the immigration. President Donald Trump today had to fire his secretary of Homeland Security or whatever it is, Christine Newman, because of the way they carry on policies that led to people's death. You're dealing with, it's okay to deport illegal immigrants. There's nothing wrong with that. But just not the way to go about certain things, to implement certain policies. And it's disappointing to hear Senator Darius Dillon yelling and being emphatic that if it's different, that human being you're dealing with, let's find a more suitable.
What did he say?
Oh, that they should break people's homes.
Oh yeah, he said that.
It's disappointing.
The good thing in Maserado, they see Maserado people, you will call them living on the street to vote for him.
Exactly. So that being said, is a little frustrating. It's a little disappointing. And we ought to not sit around and not speak about some of these things. We ought to not sit around and speak about. But it's something else that caught my attention just before I leave. As I told you, I had that meeting.
Yeah, I'm in it too. But go ahead.
It's Vice President Jeremiah Kun and my you from Nima County. Jeremiah Kun has been set up in a mess that he has no clue about. Joseph Boakai in the Unity Party knows that this thing is sinking. They have become unpopular in less than 3 years of the presidency. So Joseph Boakai is delegating the presidency to him openly today. And he sees this as a joke. This is troubling. And this is typical Joseph Yuma Boakai, who does not like to take responsibility for anything, does not like to be held accountable. Basically, he's running away from the presidency. So, this is discouraging. But hopefully we can schedule to make more time to let the people of Nima know what kind of trap that has been set for the people of Nima. Because at the end of the day, the whole thing, if it crashes, is on Joseph Boakai. Okay. Well,
I'm sorry. The same way Jeremiah Kun believed that women are supposed to be in leadership. Jeremiah Kun not from Nima County. He's from Grand Crew. I'm the one who say that. It's saying we are traditional people. Where his mother is from is now not where he's from. Where his father is from Grand Crew. He's not from Nima County. That's the way I see it. I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but that's how I see it. He's not from Nima County. And number one, I don't know anywhere in the world where the president is not. We have public works. We have GSA, but the president is the one who are going to go negotiate yellow machine and all of that. That is not, from my understanding of leadership. Okay, I've never been a vice president, I've never been a president, but my God, I got education to be able to do all of that. So I understand layers or protocols. Okay, and processes and procedures. Yes. Now, all the people who are sitting in America or sitting everywhere else say, oh, we need to get rid of that so we can build a country. You will not build your country. Where you're going to get people to come and dominate your people. Your people will become slaves in their own country. And eventually they will lose their country because they will have nothing. The land is the one that owns them. And I was telling people, I remember when people were supposed to have been rich, my family lived off the land. I'm a proud Native girl. And I don't make apologies for that, but I'm a Liberian. I don't believe there's enough Native people in Liberia to change Liberia. And I don't believe there are enough free men of color or descendant in Liberia to change Liberia. It will take all of us to be Liberian first, to see each other as brothers and sisters, to build a nation that we want to leave for our children. For me, now for my grandchildren, because my children are grown. All my children are grown. Thank God this is America. Maybe I look older than this when I live in Liberia. If I were in hardship, I didn't have 24/7 air conditioning, electricity, that I don't have to do hard work. I get up in the morning and do exercise before I join in the shower to go to work, and come in the evening, walk or exercise to stay afloat. Okay, I don't know what I would look like, because I see friends that I went to school with. When you see them, they're older than my grandmother because of struggle. So if you have a country where you people have nothing, where you prioritize foreigners, okay? You can't count the richest black men compared to in this country. No black man is rich past the richest man in the world in this country. It's not, because they started 400 years ahead. They did. Now I'm going to see if my art can help me. I want to finish reading this and leave that to y'all, because somebody told me, say, yeah, you're writing, the people don't read. I'm not saying everybody, but I'm going to say this. But let me do, hopefully, actually, I'm going to put it on the head, and I'll put it on the screen. In that way, I'm able to read it on the screen, which is bigger. That's what I'm going to do. So y'all please forgive me. Let me do this. Okay. I want to read this aloud. I might even read it tomorrow morning too. All right, here we go. And it's I felt really bad today. I was very disappointed, but then I was never appointed in Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. It really, really hit me hard that as our people are struggling, people are displaced, our children, boys and girls are being what do you call it? All kind of things being done to them, and then you come and you're telling us that she simply saying to sell the country to the highest bidder because our people are hungry. There's no jobs. And I tell you the story the other day. I'm here, and somebody posted on one of those platforms and say, if anybody tell me how badly you need $1,000, okay, here I am, not thinking anything of it. I'm going through the screen, and then I saw that what is this? I saw that a young man had posted something and said he needed the money. I reached out to that young man. The little money I sent that young man could not even buy me lunch. But when that boy wrote me, I had to show it to my husband. My heart broke. Not that the kids don't want to work. They want to work. My 13-year-old won't work. Where is the writing? I want to see what the writing. Okay, it's not doing. Just give me 1 second. It didn't do. I'm just gonna take this stuff in how you call it. Just do this. I really do want to read this. So you'll please forgive me. I really, really do want to read this before I go. My time is over here. I'm actually very tired also. It's been a long day. You saw me early this morning. I've been waking up a little early because we had a parent teacher. We're on the last month, the last 4 weeks of school. So yeah, obviously, we're having those meetings, making sure the kids are passing, if they're not passing, how the parents can help them, how we can help them, make sure they meet up with the obligation. So here we go. I'm going to play this. Oh, come on. Oh, but it's not easy. Oh. The people can say they want us as well. It's not opening for me. All right, yeah, give me 1 second. I will go down. So I'm seeing Dubenya in the news. Not sure what is going on with Dubenya. Okay. I'm not gonna play this. Alrighty, here we go. I'm not sure if it can open up. All right, all of us can read it together. So let me bring this up. Okay, I talked about this part. Here we go. Now I can share this and I can finish this up. Here we go. Here it is. Now here we go. So I will on this part here where we nationalism. After more than 3 decades since Liberian wounds begin reshaping the nation path, the country still struggle to find firm footing. Our education system remains fragile. Healthcare continues to face serious challenges. Hunger persists in too many homes. Unemployment burden the youth, and corruption like a stubborn plague. Weakness, public trust, leadership in moments like these must do more than acknowledge the past. It must help restore the moral direction of the nation. So there we go. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and your people, I'm talking to y'all. An apology, even when long overdue, carry meanings. Yet the healing of a nation requires more than words. It requires vision, accountability, and a long-term commitment to building system that places the Liberian people at the center of governance. That's what governance is about. Okay, that's what it's about. Now, oh, the thing is sitting on top of here. Okay. History offers many examples of nations that have faced hardship but chose a clear path forward. Countries such as Singapore, Brazil, Rwanda all pursued deliberate national vision. Their leaders defined the kind of nation they wanted to build, and they worked to align the people. Okay, and they worked to align the people, institutions, and policies around that shared purpose. Vision did not solve all their problems, but it gave the society direction and the discipline. Liberia, unfortunately, have often been left at a disadvantage, not because the people lack intelligence, resilience, or courage, but because the nation has too rarely been guided by sustained and collective vision of what Liberia should become. For 14 years, Liberia had the attention of the world and the opportunity to shape a new national direction. That moment could have warmly rooted values of patriotism, integrity, justice, and national purpose. But history teaches us that when leaders build cycle of loyalists rather than cultivate a generation of patriots, the foundation of the nation remains fragile. And that is what is happening. You will see people will start coming up. As an African proverb reminds us, the strength of the tree is in its roots. When the leader nurtures the root, the people, the nation flourish. Liberia's future will not be secured by outside dominance or by narrow interests. It will be secure when the leader creates an environment where dignity, justice, and opportunity can grow. Build the people, strengthen their sense of responsibility and the hope, and they will build the nation. That is the deeper meaning of patriotism or nationalism. Love of country expressed through the protection, empowerment, and the dignity of its people. That would be my thought right there. And this is what we don't want to do. All right, I'm going to put that under here. Please, you can go ahead. Yes, unemployment. 90%. Hunger, 64% of the population. 1 in every 3 child is malnourished. They can think, the brain can develop, the body can fully develop, they can grow and develop. When we say in science, those of us who teach middle grade science, grow and develop mean not to just in size, but to reach your full potential as God would have designed you to be. So Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and the Liberian, those of you who think you have reached, the children will be fine, that you want to sell. Our people are hungry, they will sell everything. That's what you want to do. But we'll talk about it tomorrow morning. My time is over. I'm 7 minutes over. I want to say thank you to all of you for hanging out with me. Sis Veronica, Brother Patrick, Peabody, Sis Letty, I saw you. Sis Rebecca, Brother Cully, Brother Japa, Cully Japa. I saw you earlier. I know I did. Sua Morris, George. I want to say sincerity, all of you. I want to say thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I'll see you guys in the morning for 10 minutes. Let me just say to you all, we're on this journey together. We have to continue to speak up. It can be draining. It is very discouraging. My cousin, who is a pastor of a huge legacy church out of England, just came from Liberia, and he came very, very depleted. He said, our people, they're giving up. You can see that they're hopeless. Nothing in the face. That say most of them just want something they can eat until God call them home. We can't give up. Especially you and I, who have had the opportunity to be here. We can't give up on our people. We just can't. Love you guys, and thank you so much. This has been our Thursday evening episode. I want to say thank you again. I'm Yacindy Martin Piye. I'm an advocate for women and children. I'm a war survivor and educator, and I'm a voice for women and children. Thank you for joining our Justice Army. Please like and follow our page. Let's continue to build it. Thank you and good night.